Good evening, everyone. Happy Thursday. Thank you so much for joining me on Evening Beat to get a look at your top local headlines. First, we are following a developing story out of Winona, where gunshots rang out in a Winona neighborhood this morning. 40-year-old Jonathan Marquest Payton is in custody tonight and facing charges for the reckless discharge of a firearm and the intentional discharge of a firearm. Now, he is waiting for his initial court appearance. We expect to learn more in the coming days after his first court appearance. Now, this all happening on the east side of town on 5th Street near the 350th block. That's just down the street from Hope Lutheran High School, which you can see laid out in this map here. Now, our Grant Jones, he was on scene today and actually got to speak with a neighbor who heard all of it happen. Here's video from that scene. Upon arriving at the scene, officers found 2 shell casings lying in the road. One bullet struck the taillight of a nearby parked car. Several witnesses described Payton as the suspected shooter, who was then located inside a nearby home with a handgun. No one was injured, though neighbors say that it was a frightening experience. Next tonight, Minnesota's First Lady Gwen Walz was in Rochester tonight. She was here for a roundtable on gun violence and how to prevent it. She brought other groups and state leaders with her, including Senate Majority Leader Aaron Murphy. Gun safety groups also took part in the town hall tonight. There were doctors, teachers, and gun violence survivors. Now, the Minnesota DFL says this event was to highlight how Minnesota values of safety, fairness, and responsibility can guide the next chapter of work to prevent gun violence and protect every family in the state. Now, the town hall took place at 6 o'clock tonight. Our Ryder Blair was at the event and will have a full report coming up at 9 and 10 o'clock. Next tonight, Rochester is getting a boost for small businesses. The city has been chosen as one of 6 nationwide to participate in a new initiative. It's called the Regulatory Justice Initiative, expanding access to small business opportunities. The program aims to make it easier for entrepreneurs to start and grow their businesses. The Rochester team will work with experts to review city regulations. The goal is to identify and remove unnecessary barriers. Recommendations and implementation plans will help modify local rules. The initiative runs through 2026. Results will be shared nationally to help other cities grow their small and local businesses. Lastly tonight, Minnesota Energy Resources is teaming up with police and sheriff's offices across the state to make sure that the warning signs of utility scams go viral on social media. Minnesota Energy Resources says that this time of year, con artists are trying to prey on fear and get you to act quickly without thinking twice. Some of the warning signs to look out for are scammers pretending to be from Minnesota Energy Resources by spoofing phone call ID to display Minnesota Energy Resources or using a recording that sounds legit. Threats to turn off your energy in a short amount of time, demanding immediate payment, often with a prepaid credit card, prepaid debit cards, third-party app like Zelle or Venmo, or an unusual payment method such as cryptocurrency. They can also show up at your door and refuse to show ID. MER says if you think a scammer is targeting you, to just hang up and close the door. Now, if you have any questions about any communication that you've received, you are encouraged to reach out to Minnesota Energy Resources. That is a look at your top local headlines for this Thursday night. Of course, you can catch Ryder's full report on Gwen Walz's appearance in Rochester coming up tonight at 9 and 10 o'clock. And with that, I hope everybody else has a great rest of their evening.